This is really twisted, hold on. Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am Sarah. I am the artist and the knitter and the crocheter and the person behind Denim Rain. Welcome. Alright, so I have projects to share with you today, including a finished project. Yay. Normally I would share that at the beginning, but I'm going to keep you on your toes and make you wait until after I show you all my works in progress, because I have a lot of things to say about my finished item. Anyway, I guess we can start with what I'm wearing. Let me stand up. Ugh, that's cute. I am wearing a modified Truboo bralette by Caidree. This is the bulky or the Aran version. I think it's Aran. Here it is untucked. It's got a little ribbing. I added some short rows to the back so it's a little longer in the butt area, but I prefer this one tucked in. Ooh. How cute is that outfit, right? I like the off-white and the white. I mean, may not be everybody's jam, but I like it. So yeah, Truboo bralette. I use the Knit Picks Billow, which is 100% cotton. It does have some thick, thin areas, which I'm not a huge fan of. You can see it a lot in like this area over here. This is not me rowing out or having gauge issues. This is purely the thick, thin yarn. Yeah, I want to knit another one. I have some grayish white, off-white yarn that I want to make another one, and it's smooth yarn. So I think if I have another one, I'd probably wear it even more. I already wear this one quite a bit. I've already worn it lots of times this spring. So yeah, really like my Truboo. Where should we start? Let's start with the most boring. Well, which one's more boring? This one's more boring. Not really, but it's boring because they're all the same color. I have crocheted a few granny squares. I have a bag that I keep my mini balls in, and I keep that like in my like bag that I go places in. So if I forget knitting, I always have this. So this is just some random mini that I have no idea where it's from or what it is. It's a nice little yellow. But I am getting close, I think, to having enough granny squares to start piecing together the blanket, which I'm really excited about. But I need to count and lay them out and see what I want to do. There are a few more colors I want to crochet into squares. I think if I just get those other colors done, I could start doing that. Just haven't gotten around to it. My project bag, and in here are my 2 at a time socks. So I haven't done a ton of work on these since last time I showed them for numerous reasons. But I am knitting these, there are 2 socks. I am knitting them out of Oak and Fiber Sweet Shop. It's the color. It is a, I thought it was a 75-25 originally, but it is actually Merino cashmere nylon. So I think it's 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere. So yeah, it's very nice. I have done this much since last time I showed them. Not a whole lot. I had a lot of hand pain, so I kind of took a break from knitting for a bit, and the small circumference knitting is a little bit harder on the hands. Yeah, and it's just a pain having the 2 balls and having to keep track of them. Not my favorite thing in the world, but I knit the 2 at a time this time because my tension has been screwy every time I knit socks, so I figured the best way to manage that would be to knit 2 at a time. So here we are. I'm using Truboo red lace. I am holding the fingering weight double to create a DK, and I am using 2.5 millimeter, which is 3 millimeter, which is a US 2.5. Yeah, US 2.5, 3 millimeter. Oof. So yeah, 2 at a time socks. Going along very, 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 very slowly. Might have more to say about that when I'm done. Okay, my next project is my Remy Camisole by Caidree. I am knitting this out of Holst Garn Coast base, which is 50% wool, 50% cotton, in the color black. So here we are. It looks super teeny tiny, but it's 2x2 ribs, so bam. Ooh, sorry, microphone. It stretches a lot. So yeah, here it is up close-ish. It's black. I'm not gonna try too hard to show this to you. You all know, you know how it goes. You know how it goes with black yarn. So I do have on here a couple of Hello Lavender stitch markers. Aren't they cute? I love those colors with the black. Yeah, took a break from this for a while. I was doing pretty good, making progress on this, and I was hoping to have it done by now, but I started having a lot of hand pain, so I took a break from this because purling extra hurts my hands. So, and it being 2x2 rib, there's a lot of purling, so I took a break. It's also on, I think, 3.5 or 3.75 millimeter needles, so they're smaller needles. So yeah, the cramping and the pain was not good. So, but I'm almost there. I have about this much more to go, which could be about 2 days worth of knitting if I commit myself to it. But I'll say 4 days worth of knitting. And I'm not going to do 1x1 rib at the bottom like my other one was. I'm going to just do the 2x2 all the way to the end and then bind off, because I feel like the 2x2 will be a little bit cleaner than the 1x1 was on my first version of the Remy. Yeah, I'm very excited for this tank top. A lot of people are scared by this pattern because it is all over 2x2, but it's worth the finished object because it fits really, really nicely. So I'm okay with knitting a whole entire garment out of 2x2 to get the end result. Even though it's not my favorite, but I don't hate 2x2. I hate 1x1. But I don't really hate 2x2. Okay, so there's the Remy. And now let's move on to my other sweater. So this is living in my Songbird handmade bag. Absolutely gorgeous. Got those little peaches and blooms and her pretty little logo and the faux leather bottom and the handle and all the good things. I love this bag. It gets used. It's one of my most used bags. Okay, in here, I have a crochet hook. I dropped some stitches at one point, so I had to pick it up. Okay, this is really messy. Aww. Sweater. So I have not made much progress on this since the last time I showed it. Last time I showed it, I had already finished the body and was kind of like, what do I do with the hem? I think I'm going to do an I-cord. I've not done that yet. I still have my attempt at a garter. So I'm going to rip back that little garter strip that I did and pick up an I-cord. I think I might need to add a little more length on it for an I-cord, but I need to rip that back and actually try it on again because it was the perfect length when I tried it on last to add like a 1 to 2 inch long hem, but an I-cord is only like 1/4 of an inch, so I need to rip it back, try it on, and then possibly add some more stockinette length. And then I have made a little bit of progress on the sleeve since last time. Not a ton, but a little. And on here I have these adorable little needle stoppers from Birch and Lilly. These were gifted to me. Oh, how cute are they? The little corgi butts. I love it. Then I have one of my hand-painted markers on here, which I'm going to attempt painting some for the shop, and then another Hello Lavender marker. Yeah, so it's going slightly slow. It is a fingering weight project. I am knitting it out of Drops Safran. Ta-da! It's a really nice color. I think it will look nice. It'll look nice on me, I think, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. I want to finish this. But I don't mind that it's taking a while. I don't feel the need to rush it at all, which is okay, and I like that. I don't mind having projects that kind of I can take my time with. I like doing some projects quickly, and I like to have some where they just kind of are there for me. So this one is just kind of there for me. Okay, this next one I'm really excited about. I have this Lion brand Truboo yarn, which is 100% rayon from bamboo, and it is this beautiful color. It's actually coming up pretty close to accurate there. How nice will this color look on me? I'm very excited about it. So it's super drapey and like smooth, and I was like, okay, I want something that's gonna be kind of flowy. I had thought tank top at first, but All the tank tops that are more flowy have very triangle-y, and I feel like they always have weird gapey stuff at the arms. More on that later. So I was kind of like, okay, what do I do? I kind of want a t-shirt, but most of the t-shirts are drop shoulder or they're raglan with a high neck. And I kind of wanted a V-neck raglan, but the V-neck in the front and the back. So I have drawn up this little sketch here. So we have the V-neck in the front and the back, and it will be a raglan, and then it will have a split hem. I hope that's focused on it. I think it is. So because it's a raglan and it's V-neck in front and back, when you do a V-neck and a raglan, you go back and forth, you know, to the V in the front, and then eventually you join in the round. But if it's V in the front and the back, you have to work the shoulders separately until you get to the end of the V in the front and the back, and then you can join in the round. So I did a whole bunch of math. Look at all those numbers. Yeah, so I figured out how many stitches I wanted around my bust. That is a big spider. Dead. He's dead. Where were we? Math. Right, math. So I measured my bust, figured out how many inches of positive ease I wanted. I wanted like about 5-ish inches of positive ease. So I took that, measured my swatch. I usually do about 2 inches because I like dividing and adding and doing all the math by the 2 inches instead of your typical 4-inch gauge.
Don't come at me.
It hasn't failed me yet, okay? Okay. So I do a 2-inch measurement of my swatch. I took my bust measurement, divided that by 2, and times how many stitches were in that 2-inch swatch. And there I got how many inches or how many stitches I needed to get to in my bust. And then I took like how many stitches from here. I mean, I've done enough raglans to kind of gauge how many stitches I wanted to start with in my sleeves. So I have like 10 stitches here, and then 2 stitches in front, 2 stitches in back, and then we increase from there. So this is what I've got thus far. I have a shoulder started. So here I've got the shoulder, raglan increase going that way, V-neck going this way. I think I'm about 2/3 or half of the way through. I don't know, I haven't counted my stitches in a minute. So on this side, I'm doing less increases than I am on this side. I am increasing like I'm doing 2 increases, skipping around, doing 2 increases, skipping around, doing 2 increases, etc. And then I'm increasing every row on the raglan. So I'm doing that for the first shoulder, and then once I finish this one, I will cast on the second one, and hopefully then cast on or join in the round. My math there seems to be working out really good, and so far I like how this is looking. So I'm hoping that it actually works out. It's really hard, like, because math may work out on paper and the swatch may look good and the idea may look good in your head, but you don't really know until you're there. So, and it's also hard because it's not like a full-blown raglan, so it's not at the moment at a point where I can try on as I go, because I have to do the second shoulder and knit that all the way through before I can join it in the round and try it on. I mean, I can do this, but this can only tell me so much. Though this is telling me a good amount, and it's telling me I like it so far, but I'm not 100%. And then I think I'm gonna do an I-cord around the whole thing because I want it like clean and minimal, and I don't want ribbing because the bamboo, ribbing doesn't suit bamboo. It doesn't have enough structure to support that ribbing, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I'm thinking an I-cord is gonna be the way to go. So far, I love this yarn. It's kind of hard to tell because it's bunched up on the needles, but the drape is absolutely fabulous. It's so good. It doesn't have a name. I'm not gonna release a pattern. Don't ask me, it's not gonna happen, guys. I like the idea of designing and releasing patterns. Now, if somebody wanted to collab with me and take this math that I'm doing and turn it into a pattern, if there's like a pattern designer out there, I'd totally do that. But I personally don't have the brain space or the time to put out patterns. Patterns stress me out a lot. It stresses me out the writing and making sure I do it properly. I hate grading so much. I can do it and I can manage it, but it takes so much time. And for something like this, it's for larger sizes, I don't know if I can manage it. So there's that. And then I hate testing. It stresses me out so much, like managing a tester group. I don't know why, but it stresses me out. The idea of finding flaws just panics me. So don't like that, and I hate pattern support. So I like the idea of designing. I love designing and I love figuring things out, coming up with new constructions and different design ideas, but I want it to just be for me, honestly. So I will share all the different steps that I do along the way for this, and I will, once I'm done, if it works out, I will share the math that I've made for my size. And then if you guys want to take it and apply it to your own sizes or make the same size that I am, awesome. But I'm not going to be putting out any pattern. But yeah, got this idea. I'm madly in love with it. There will be no pattern. Are you ready for a finished object? I have a tank top for you. Last time I showed this to you, it was in hank form. It was just yarn. There was nothing on the needles yet. So, and I finished this one really quickly. I think it was like a week. It flew. Ta-da! I have finished my home camisole by Caidree. Look at this. It's so fabulous. Look at that I-cord. Oh, it's a dream. Okay, but before I start talking about the pattern, because I have lots to say about the pattern and modifications that I've made, let's briefly touch on the yarn. So this yarn was very, very, very kindly gifted to me by Amanda of Birch and Lilly. She also has a YouTube channel, so go check her out. And she has a very nice Instagram. She does a lot of like testing for designers and stuff, and she dyes stunning yarn. So this is the colorway Hyacinth, and this is on her DK base. It's 100% superwash merino wool. Now I know you're sitting there thinking like, Sarah, what is wrong with you? This is a tank top. Why are you knitting it out of wool? Well, it breathes. I have a tank top knit out of acrylic, and I have a tank top knit out of wool. Wanna know which one's more comfortable? So much more comfortable. It breathes, guys. It breathes. Acrylic doesn't breathe. Cotton is even nicer. But honestly, I've worn this and I've worn this, and they're both good. So I don't have any problem with the wool, and I've worn it already on a nice warm day. It wasn't like super hot or anything, and I was comfortable. I didn't even notice it at all. It was a dream. The yarn is gorgeous. Now, pattern. This is a gorgeous pattern by Caidree. As I said, I made some modifications. Does it need modifications? Well, you can determine that when you look at the pattern. Now, I have always noticed with tank tops that have the triangles that are knit first and then joined in the round, I have always noticed that there seems to be gaping, like here, where it like sticks out. This one doesn't stick out. I'm pulling on it a lot. So they like stick out. I really, really didn't want that. And I have a larger rib cage, but smaller boobs. So a lot of my bust circumference is made up by just straight up ribs and small boobs. So I didn't want to knit my size and then have gaping because I don't have enough boobs to keep the triangle forward, because it's just gonna kind of sit there. So what I did, without giving any details of the pattern away, I didn't increase evenly throughout the triangle. I made fewer decreases on this side, on the underarm side, on both the front and the back. Now, yes, that took away from how many stitches I ended up with for when I joined in the round. But that was okay because I was kind of in between the size extra small and small, and my gauge was just a tiny bit too big. So having a few less stitches actually ended up working out for me because I wanted about 0 to 1 inch of ease. I didn't want a flowy tank top. At least I didn't want this one to be a flowy tank top. So that's what I did here. Fewer increases along the armhole size, and you could do this with any like triangle tank top pattern. Just do fewer increases on this side, and if you still need that certain stitch amount, you could always increase like an extra stitch or 2 on this side to make up for this, or increase somewhere else. You could always decrease how many single like non-increasing rows at the top and then add some more increase rows down here. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. I just kind of figured out the math before I started, before I got in there. I figured out how many rows there were and kind of determined how many I wanted to eliminate from the sides, and it worked out perfectly. I'm not going to share all the numbers because then that will give away numbers in the actual pattern because it is a paid for pattern, but I think I removed 3 increases from each underarm triangle in my size, which I knit the size small, and I have a bust circumference of 33 inches. So, and I wanted about a 33 to 34 inch for this, and we're bang on. Other modifications, what else did I do? Oh, I did short rows on the back hem to just create this a little bit longer than the front. I like to have my butt end a little bit longer in most things. What else? I made it a touch longer. I don't think there was any more modifications. I used 2 full balls, 2 full 100-gram balls, and then about 20-ish, not quite 20-ish. I had 88 grams of yarn left of my 3rd ball. So, and I didn't measure them. I should have weighed them before I started, but I didn't. Usually a 100-gram hank is a little bit more than 100 grams. So usually there's like 5 to 10 extra grams. It's never like 100 gram. It's usually like 110, 100. Yeah. So I think there was a little bit more. Can't guarantee that though. I'm just spitballing. So yeah, it fits really good. I do wish I had eliminated like 2 rows from here just because it is a touch low. I have a pretty short torso. So from here to my boobs is kind of short. So I've got long legs, short torso. So I should have eliminated a couple of rows, and I thought about it. I did eliminate a couple of rows from the end of the triangle. That was the other modification. I remember now. I removed a couple of rows from down here, and I eliminated those and just joined them around. So I wish I had eliminated a couple more from up here though. So it's all good though. I just have to every now and then go like this so it doesn't show off my bra. It's fine though. It's not the end of the world. I still loved wearing it when I wore it. And it will still get lots more wear this summer. I almost forgot to mention Fiber Fusion. So Fiber Fusion is a little fiber show here. There's sheeps and, you know, alpaca, llama, vendors, all the things. So I went to that with my sister and her friend. I ended up kind of splitting off because I sat and chatted for a while with Bigfoot Yarn Company, and I got this adorable little pin. How cute is he? Is Bigfoot and he's knitting. I love it. So there's that I got, and then I was big spender when I went. I got 2 mini skeins. So this first one, I did not record who I got it from, and it doesn't have a ball band or anything, so I don't know where this is from. She did say it is 75-25, So, but look at it's like glowing, and then it has like this halo with like, you can't really see it, but it has like a red halo on it, which is really cool. And then I got this one from Dye House, Serial Knitters Underground. I don't know, but it is really fun. This is a one of a kind. Look at how bright it is. I have a pair of socks that I want to make with this as the heels, toes, and cuff. It's a very like neutral color that I want to pair it with. So like neutral, and then with this as a bang. So yeah, that's all I got. I was on a mission to find the perfect tomato red mini, but I couldn't find it. There was one that I was pretty happy with, but it was in a set of 5 or 6. It was in a set of 6, and I liked about 3 of the colors that were in it. And I decided I couldn't justify it because for only liking 3 of it, it was way too expensive. It was $45 for a set of 6 20-gram mini skeins, and that was a little too much for me to spend. So I passed up that, and I couldn't find any single ones. So that's okay. I will keep the hunt, keep an eye out for the perfect tomato red mini skein. So eventually, maybe. All right, that is it for today. I don't have any art to show because I haven't really been painting a whole lot, but I'm sure there will be more next time. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and have a fabulous day. Bye.